It's Saturday, the 23rd of May 2015. This is a chart of Perseus mining. I put up a chart of this about 8 weeks ago now, and it was just after this bottom day here, and I just entered the position there, and I was talking about how I think the company is really starting to turn things around, and it might be a very good buying opportunity. Every time I've talked about this chart in the past, I've said this zone here is the sell zone. Every time we've got up into it, we've seen some pretty hefty volume coming in from sellers, and that's really related to, I think, the initial down move when it came down from $3 to all the way back down here to 30.20 cents. This volume here was real volume. This was, I think, the serious gold investors were exiting the stock and becoming shorters, really, which is what's really caused this zone for a long time. No one's really had any confidence in the company since then, but just now I think the company is really starting to turn around. The last quarterly report was excellent. I've just got a copy of the quarterly report and I've highlighted a couple of things. And you can see, I guess the first thing I've highlighted here is the all-in site costs down to $900, which is very competitive, and compared to where they were, which was up around $1,100-$1,200 6 to 12 months ago, constantly plagued by issues. There was a fire, there was various capex that had to be spent, but they've been consistently outperforming the goals they'd set at the start of the year. And I think one of the things they've put in place now is they've bought some diesel generators as well, which should allow them to get around any electricity restrictions that are imposed in Ghana. Had been sort of the last remaining one-off item that looked like it could affect production, touch wood, and all that's really led to this really impressive $25.9 million of cash generated during the quarter, which is quite a phenomenal figure. I think the market cap at this company is now probably around 200 million, but for $25 million of actual cash generation during the quarter is very impressive. And I would expect that figure to be just as good next quarter, based on some of the figures in the quarterly. And for a long time, the company has had this hedge, and that's been sitting on there. And they kept talking about the average price, where the hedge was weighted toward 2015 production, and that production is, you can see here, $1,500 for 70,000 ounces, and that's really starting to flow through to cash now. So it's been sitting on the balance sheet as an asset, and now it's actually coming through and translating into cash. And they've shown a bullish move in going ahead with development of their Sisingwe mine in the Ivory Coast. They've said here a modest amount of third-party debt. The total amount, I was just looking through the feasibility study, the total amount required is about $106 million. So you can see they've got 84 million Australian dollars currently in the bank, and at the end of June quarter 2015, I'd expect them to have probably 105 million at least Australian, based on the figures in here, and possibly quite a bit higher. So I think when they say a modest amount, I wouldn't have thought they'd need more than $30 million, and that would probably be about the sort of figure they're looking at, considering they can fund it out of their own cash. And if Edikan keeps operating the way it is, they should be able to keep operating cash flow $10 to $15 million a quarter quite easily, assuming the gold price stays where it is. I'm of the view the gold price is more likely to move higher, but even at $1,200, they're starting to look very good. And when that hedge runs out at the end of 2015 calendar year, they're still, if they can produce at $900 an ounce, they're still going to be making 10 to 15 million a quarter. So Sisingwe does look very promising. It's only a small mine, about 75,000 ounces a year, I think, on average over the initial 5 or 6 years. But still, that's it's a bullish move for the company, and the first sign that they're really turning a corner, I think. And back to the chart, I think this previously being the sell zone, anyone who's looking at selling here, I think might be disappointed, because I think this could be the start of a really good move for Perseus. And you're just seeing what I think are some serious investors starting to come back into the stock and pay attention. So it's a good time to own it.